session with him, and she's sexually comparing herself with him. You're going to see her anger, her words.
They said that she intended to cause serious bodily injury and intentionally committed an act clearly dangerous to human life to cause the death of the individual. And when you strip everything away in this case, what you have to decide is what was Brittany's intent at that time. Did she intend to kill Eric Powell? Did she intend to hurt him badly? No. No, she didn't. And you don't have to take my word for that. You can see that in the evidence that was brought out here. I don't have the burden of proof. We don't have the burden of proof. Brittany comes in here with the presumption of innocence, with the presumption that she did not commit murder. And it is up to the state to bring you evidence that she intended in that moment to kill him or cause him serious bodily injury. So let's take a look at what they brought you, and let's take a look at what they didn't bring you. As we just went through, they brought you text messages. As we heard from Officer Love, these are not all of the text messages. These are text messages from February of 2010, the end of February 2010, to April the 23rd, 2010. They're not anybody else's text messages. You didn't hear from Kimba Maddox in these text messages about the state of their relationship. And I don't think that you can determine everything about the state of a relationship and the state of somebody's mind from 2 months' worth of text messages. Think about your relationships. Can you sum up the complexity in your intimate relationship with 33 pages of 40 characters or less? Does this tell you anything really about what was going on? Maybe a little bit. It tells you that they argued. Granted, we know they argued. Brittany said that day, yes, we argued. We argued over something real little. That doesn't mean she meant to kill him. It doesn't mean she meant to kill him. There's also text messages different text messages on a couple of different occasions. I'm going to beat your ass. Does that mean that he intended to beat her ass? Well, he was doing it that day. We heard that from Barbara Hales. We heard that from other witnesses who called the police to report an assault. An assault on Brittany Wetzel. You saw the pictures of the bruises that they took. And you have his admissions in here. I'm going to beat your ass. There's nothing in here saying, I'm leaving you from him. Nothing in here saying, I'm done with you. I'm not talking to you anymore. If he's so fired up to get away from her, to never see her again, why is he calling her that morning to come and get him and take him to Stanley's, him and his cousin, to get something to eat? Why does he want to talk to her? We have uncontroverted evidence that he called her to pick her up, to get her to pick him up, take me to get something to eat. So yeah, we have text messages showing that they argue. But that's it. The money, I imagine that will come up, $128 that was in Eric's pocket at the time of this incident. I don't know if the state said tell you that she ran him down so she could take $128 out of his pocket. But they haven't brought you any evidence to contradict what she said. You remember what she said. She said, Lee is telling me, get the money, get the drugs out of his pocket. We haven't heard anything contradicting her statement, and they brought you evidence that actually supports what she said happened. Lee walked away with his ball cap, with his cell phone, his belt buckle, his chain. Officer Chalice told you that. She said he was trying to get the money. I was trying to keep him from moving Eric. So yeah, I took the money. I put it in my pocket. She was honest about it. She handed it over the minute she was asked. There's no evidence that she was trying to steal from him or that she cared anything at all about that money. That doesn't show her intent. Let's talk about Tyler Street. Those are the marks on Tyler Street. Right here. We talked to Warren Carter, we talked to Laquita Jones about what happened on Tyler Street. You see here there's no curve. And you see where she came up and she came off. You can see that in the diagram that Officer Milan did for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she wanted to run him over. She intended to hurt him to cause his death. She's got a whole lot of space to do that in. 33 feet to that fence. 18 more feet from where she turned. 115 more feet down to the end of the block. She could have chased him all the way down here. Instead, what the evidence shows is that she was going slow. And that's their witnesses, not mine. Warren Carter testified maybe 2-3 miles an hour. Laquita Jones testified she was going slow. They both said, yeah, Eric can see us from where he's at. If he thought that Brittany was about to run him over, why not go to them for help? Why not get them to call the police? Why not go to them? Why not get into their house? He didn't think Brittany's intent was to run him over or to cause him harm. They kept going. They kept arguing. And what were they arguing about? They were arguing because she called the police on him. The DA wants to tell you that they were arguing because he was trying to leave her. That doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. What makes more sense is that those Barbara Hales and Brittany Zuniga and Casey Shields called the cops, and he knew they were coming. He can hear the sirens. He knows they're coming. He knows they're going to report that he just assaulted Brittany out in the yard. And he knows he's got marijuana in his pocket. You heard the detective testify that he found 8 grams of green leafy substance in Eric's pocket. And he had crack in his pocket too. We know that because Brittany told him that Lee took it out while he's taking his cell phone and his chain and his belt buckle. That's why he's leaving. It doesn't have anything to do with Brittany. He's running from the police. And she wants to hold him there. She wants him to go to jail because she knows that if he goes to jail, he gets arrested, or if he leaves thinking that she got him arrested, he's going to come back. He's going to handle her. I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to get my piece. I'm going to handle you. So for 6 blocks, almost half a mile, she begs and pleads and cajoles and yells at him, get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. But she wants to run him down with the car. Why does she want him to get in? At one point, she got out of the car and tried to get him in the car. If she wanted to kill him with the car, why get out of it? It doesn't make sense. Why drive 5 miles an hour? Why drive slow enough that he can walk along the side and they can continue to argue back and forth? Instead, look at Brittany's actions if you want to determine her intent. Begging, pleading, yelling at him, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car, we will work this out. She drove almost half a mile. She drove 6 blocks. She got out of the car, and then when this happened, she stayed on the scene. She didn't leave. She got out of the car and she went to him. She tried to give him CPR. She didn't know what she was doing, but she was trying to do something. She was hysterical. She was crying. Every witness that came up here that talked about her demeanor on the scene, she was hysterical. That was their quote. Barbara Hales told you that. Officer Chalice told you that. She was distraught about what had happened. She called 911. She asked other people to call 911. And she told the responding officer, I didn't mean to. This was an accident. I didn't intend to hit him. I didn't intend to run him over. And you can tell that from the scene. Despite what Detective Love and Detective Montana told Brittany, you can tell it from the scene. Let's start with this diagram. But there's no evidence that she ever tried to miss him. Well, forget about this red circle, ladies and gentlemen, because as the officer told you himself, he doesn't know that that's where he got hit or not. He's not sure. You do see this change in direction here. A swerve, for lack of a better term, where she tried to miss Eric. But he's coming towards the car. She's going slow. He's coming towards the car. And when she realizes, I'm going to hit him, she tries to turn. And you can see that marked on their diagram, the way they set it up. You can see that from the tire tracks. This is a photo of the tire track that Officer Lamont had Billy Bennett take. It shows the tire track in loose dirt. We've driven on dirt roads. I've driven on dirt roads. You know what happens when you drive fast on a dirt road? The dirt kicks up. step on the ground and you look behind you and you can see the dirt pushed up behind the ball of your foot. That's what happens when you drive fast on loose dirt. That's not what happened here. You get similar tire tracks to that when you drive across dirt at 5 miles an hour. I also told you there's no signs of acceleration. No signs where she sped up, pushed on the gas, gunned it, tried to get it in that lot. You look at these photos. You can see those tracks, and you can see that tread, plain as day. And you can see this change in direction too. The swerve that wasn't there. You can see it. And you can recognize that she had no intent to hit him. She had no intent to hurt him or cause him any harm. You can see that from the front of the vehicle. That's the damage to the front of the vehicle, the bent license plate. Dr. Krause told you, low speed. That indicates low speed. And he also told you that the only point of contact that he could see is on the front of Eric's shin.
Check this in the statement of Dr. Krause's testimony.
Sustained.
One of the only points of contact that he could see was on the front of Eric's shin. There are photos here, and you can look at them. The report is there, and you can look at that. His legs aren't broken. And those are the only marks on the front of his legs. So what do we have then that shows that Brittany Wetzel intended to kill Eric Powell? Intended to hurt him? The only thing we have is her statement. You heard what she said, ladies and gentlemen. She said it many, many, many times. She did not intend to run over him. She had no intention at all of running over him.
This is a case, listen, this is a case where you're afraid of him and listen to me.
DA, I'm sure, is going to tell you that her story changed. It changed several times. But she told them the truth. And it wasn't what they wanted to hear. She wasn't being honest with them. You can hear the emotion in her story as she realizes they don't believe me. And they didn't believe her. You heard them. They came in there with their mind made up. They already had her charged with murder when she got in there. All they wanted was confirmation. So they sat her in that corner, and they brought in two big detectives, over 6 feet tall, and they decided they're just going to wait her out until she tells them what they want to hear. They tell her the physical evidence doesn't match. Well, they didn't have the reports yet. They didn't have their own accident reconstructionist reports yet to talk about the speed of the vehicle. They didn't have his report that said there was no sign of acceleration in that lot. They didn't have anything that could have told them that the physical evidence didn't match what she was saying. They didn't have Dr. Krause's report to tell them that, yes, he was in front of the car, moving towards the car, and he was hit on the front of his legs. They didn't have that when they told her that the physical evidence didn't match. starts to become desperate. You can hear it in her voice. I didn't intend to isn't working for them. So and they offer her an out.
This is the case where the thing happened in the past, and you were afraid that something was going to happen, and or maybe he did something or said something that really angered you, and you momentarily lost control of what you were doing, and thought, I'm going to scare him, or I'm going to hurt him even, and you did this in a split second. Okay, that's one thing. That's something.
Sure, the state will tell you she changed her story from, I'm trying to get it back in the car. I didn't intend to do anything to. Well, I was trying to scare him. Well, gee, I wonder why. She's just been told, well, maybe it's okay. If you were just trying to scare him, maybe that's different. It's okay, you can tell us.
Credibility is everything at this point for you. If you're coming here and tell us that it's not true, and it's going to be proven to be not true by physical evidence, then you're not credible. Okay? What really happened is you were mad at him. For whatever reason, you're upset and you're mad at him. You did not get in the car, whatever it is. You got in the car and went over him. And what did you do?
Does that story sound familiar? What really happened is you were mad at him. You were mad at him, you were trying to scare him, and you got in the car. Except that doesn't match with the physical evidence, to borrow a phrase. It doesn't match. So we can hear on and on about the text messages and how terrible their relationship was and how terrible her relationship was with Kimba, but it doesn't match with physical evidence.